We are Stockport, a city in size but a town in nature. We don't sit in the shadows of our neighbours. We're just more subtle and down to earth. Many pass through, but those that visit will experience a town built on graft, industry and social values. Proud Stockfordians, we have a unique community spirit that believes in the power of togetherness. Football is in our veins. From 1883 and Heaton Norris Rovers to Stockport County as we're known today. This is our home since 1902. These are the turnstiles, the colours, the flags, the drums, the scarf my father wore. We've witnessed celebrations, commiserations and extra time clinches. Now to the next chapter at Edgeley Park. An evolution, not revolution. Building the future whilst preserving the past. A chance to bring the club into the modern era. Old legends will be celebrated and new ones created. A sustainable modern day club built on strong values. Community and people are everything. Without them, we're just a football team. A team built on hard graft and creativity, where our players are role models, inspiring the next generation on and off the pitch. A club at the heart of grassroots football, which inspires and supports players of all abilities. This is proper football, a proper day out. A place where kids can access their heroes, get pictures, autographs and even meet our resident bear. Good local football, beers and food. This is hospitality the Stockport way. There are no new owners here, only new custodians. This is the fans club and to you we say thank you. Enjoy the journey. We are County.
Anything goes when you're dealing with the incomparable, infamous, the one and only Nitro. With the nice throw, I ain't your average Joe, but I walk it and I talk it, acting like I know. Anything goes when you're dealing with the incomparable, infamous, the one and only Nitro. With the nice throw, I ain't your average Joe, but I walk it and I talk it, acting like I know. On Friday nights, I hold the mic like a Dodie stick, blowing smoke and spitting bars. I'm known for that, you know that. Locked in the cypher with an MC and a master key. Is this your open house? Is what everybody keep asking me. Of course it is. From David Banner.
County's late bid to gatecrash the playoffs was scuppered by the combined efforts of the coronavirus and the National League's points per game equation, which saw Barnet catapulted into the top 7. But instead of licking their wounds, the Hatters under Jim Gannon and Director of Football Simon Wilson have set about plotting a course back to the Football League with a string of eye-catching signings. Whilst former heroes Paul Turnbull, Sam Walker and Dan Cowan won't be involved next season, the arrivals of Alex Reid, the Jennings brothers, John Rooney, Mark Kitching, Jamie Stott and now Jordan Williams have left County fans eagerly anticipating the return to action. It's County's first friendly of the summer as Jim Gannon gears his squad up for a competitive return in early October. But two crucial things are missing: Edgeley Park and the fans. We're at Carrington, County's new training headquarters, the latest phase in the professionalisation of the now full-time Hatters. And this is how Jim Gannon's starting 11 looks as County face an opposition team for the first time in more than 5 months. The Hatters have Ben Hinchliffe in goal. It's a back three of Ash Palmer, Liam Hogan and Jamie Stott. Wing-back Sam Minihan on the right-hand side, Mark Kitching on the left. Two midfielders, Lois Maynard, the holding midfielder, with John Rooney pushing on to support a front three, and what a front three as well. Connor Jennings, Richie Bennett and Alex Reid. That's the way the Hatters line up for the first half. It's a complete change for the second. We'll come on to that later today. Fleetwood, well, they suffered their own playoff heartbreak in the summer. The League One outfit ended the curtailed season strongly with an 11-game unbeaten run, but COVID put a stop to their dreams of automatic promotion to the Championship. The Cod Army were left licking their wounds after a 6-3 aggregate defeat to eventual playoff champions Wycombe, not helped by 2 red cards in the first leg at the Highbury Stadium. But it's a remarkable achievement nonetheless for a team that was still in the Northern Premier League just 12 years ago. No doubt County's new Supremo Mark Stott has looked closely at the rapid success that Andy Pilley has brought to Fleetwood Town. And manager Joey Barton's doing a tremendous job in his first managerial role. And here's the team he's named for this afternoon afternoon's pre-season clash. As often happens at this time of year, there's a couple of trialists, one in goal and one at right back. Then it's Harrison Holgate and Morgan Boys at centre halves. Boys is on loan from Liverpool. Danny Andrews at left back. Wes Burns on the right wing, Josh Morris on the left. Callum Camps, a creative midfielder signed from Rochdale, accompanies Paul Coots, the captain, in midfield. And then up top, it's Paddy Madden alongside the notorious Ched Evans. 12 goals last season for the former Welsh international. Substitutes for the visitors: James Hill, Harrison Biggins, Jack Sowerby, Carl Johnston, Jay Matiti, Harvey Saunders and Shaden Morris, alongside a trialist goalkeeper and young defender Barry Bagley. You won't miss a kick. Full live and exclusive commentary comes from County's new training complex. We're at Carrington. It's Stockport County against League One Fleetwood Town in association with mydigitalaccounts.com. So after 5 long months, the waiting is over and football returns, albeit in unfamiliar settings, as County kick off their pre-season later than normal in the new surroundings of Carrington. And what a magnificent training complex they've got here as well. The pitch is absolutely perfect. You couldn't ask for better conditions as the game gets underway. The Hatters kicking from left to right as we look at it in this first half. Delighted to say alongside me this afternoon for our first ever live stream on YouTube is Shaun Connor, the former non-league defender, former FC United man who actually played and was given his debut by Dave Conlon at Atherton as a 16-year-old. Shaun, great conditions. It's just nice to be back playing football, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just great to see everyone back. Training complex looks superb, and yeah, it'll be a tough opposition today in Fleetwood. We've already had one game, so it'll be a great run out for the lads today.
It's Fleetwood on the ball in the early stages. The ball from Morgan Boys, who's on a season-long loan from Liverpool. It's his debut this afternoon for his new club, season-long loan from Anfield. County pick it up in midfield, and it's a foul on strapping Lois Maynard. It will be a free kick to the Hatters just inside County territory. Back to Ash Palmer. Palmer rolls it out to the right for Hogan. County starting the game with a back three. Hogan again. Comfortable touch from the big centre half, helped on by Jennings, intercepted though by the Cod Army on the halfway line, but Coots unable to capitalise on that. The Hatters have it back with Bennett out to the left wing. Opportunity on the overlap for Mark Kitching to cross, tried to play it in hard and low. Comes out to Bennett to scoop it goalwards, but he was always off balance. But the first shot in anger comes from the Hatters, but it stays 0-0, Shaun.
Yeah, good start from County, getting it down, playing out from the back, which is good to see. And Kitching made a great run. Maybe the ball was just a bit overhit for him, sort of had to check his run a little bit. But yeah, good start from County, keeping the ball well.
Well, County with the first shot in anger this afternoon, and hopefully be the first of many. The Hatters on the front foot again. Far side, they're looking for a free kick. Not awarded on this occasion, though. And it's Fleetwood back on the ball. An unfortunate slip by Maynard. He could have been in there. It was a poor touch initially by Callum Camps that almost allowed him the opportunity to steal. Fleetwood still have it though. Coots, the experienced Scottish midfielder, back out to that right-hand side, where they've got a trialist playing on that right defensive berth today. Picked up in midfield by Josh Morris now, experienced midfielder, former Scunthorpe man, switches it to the opposite side. It's a lovely ball. Brings the centre half Boys forward. The swagger from Boys, you can see he's got that Liverpool style about him. Edge of the County penalty area. The Hatters trying to defend this ball in, and it will be the first corner of the day. It's gone the way of Fleetwood. Well, an early test here then for the County back line, and some really good strikers as well, Shaun, in this first team for Fleetwood.
Yeah, you know, you've got Evans who's quite prolific at this level, and Fleetwood just started well there, taking a quick short corner now.
Yeah, County switched up a little bit there. Could be costly. Camps trying to tee it up on the edge of the box. A great interception though by Sam Minihan. County marauding away. It's a lovely switch of play out to that left side now. Bennett taking up that position on the overlap again. Chance for Kitching to cross. Jennings, not the best of balls into Rooney, sold him a little bit short. County still have it with Maynard, but they've got to build again from the back. Here's Palmer, collecting from Stott and giving it to Hogan. Hogan goes long, too long on this occasion, and it runs through to the goalkeeper for Fleetwood, who is a trialist as well this afternoon. It's one of the vagaries at this time of year that we're not permitted to name some of the individuals taking part in these games, so we'll stick to that. Here's Boys, the Liverpool man, we can name him. Holgate, a promising young defender who's actually only played once for the first team, and that was against Liverpool in the Football League Trophy. Up to halfway, Callum Camps, very creative midfielder. Key signing in the summer after 7 years with Rochdale, 240 appearances for the Dale. Very comfortable on the ball. Here's Boys again, picking it up on this left-hand side. Into feet now for the skipper, Paul Coots. Signed from Sheffield United just over 12 months ago. That's the kind of level he's been operating at. Fleetwood, of course, very unlucky not to be a championship club now, as they missed out in the playoffs, losing heavily in the end to Wycombe Wanderers, but with extenuating circumstances they finished the first leg with a 4-1 defeat and only 9 men. There's the big number 6 now at the back for Fleetwood, bringing it out, Holgate. County have it back again though. It's a lovely touch back from Alex Reid for Jennings. Jennings unable to keep possession, but he's got County a throw in. And at the moment, Shaun, you've got to say, nothing between the two teams.
No, Fleetwood have just stepped into it the last 3 or 4 minutes, but County look comfortable on the ball, which is good, playing out from the back well. And the front three look lively, as does Kitchen on the far left-hand side. He's starting really well for County.
Yeah, Mark Kitching, I was speaking to 1 or 2 colleagues up in the northeast about the signing of Mark Kitching, and they say is a real loss to Hartlepool United. Devastated to see him go. He's played in some high-profile games in his time as well. Played in the 3rd round of the FA Cup against Tottenham when he was with Rochdale back in League One days. And in fact, took Spurs to a replay down at White Hart Lane after a draw in the first game. So Rochdale soundly beaten in the replay, 6-1, but what a great experience nonetheless. Throw in on this near side for Fleetwood. Just looking at down the line, the number 3 for Fleetwood. It's risked fairly heavily strapped Danny Andrew. He wasn't involved in their first pre-season game, perhaps because of that. They've got a break on now down the right, deep ball towards Madden on the far post, and Sam Minihan had to be his best there to turn that behind. Dangerous ball, looking for Paddy Madden on the far post, the Irish centre forward, and good defending in the end, Shaun.
Yeah, clever from Evans. He just got in between the lines there. I think just lost Maynard, and nobody in the back 3 came out to get close to him and turn well, but good defender from Minihan at the back post. He turned it down for a corner for Fleetwood.
Shaun mentioned earlier the quality of the strikers. Madden, 19 goals last season. Ball out to the left of the County penalty area. Well blocked by the Hatters through Rooney. Here's Madden again. It's a deft little touch on the edge of the box. Didn't quite come off for him. Jennings holding off the challenge of Madden. Feeds it out to the left side for Mark Kitching again. Kitching, little step over before giving it to Stott. Stott down the line for Reid. Reid glancing it on to Bennett. Awkward bouncing ball for Bennett to try and control the big number 9, who has only made 1 county appearance so far. That was the final game of the curtailed season, and he featured in the win at Maidenhead. It's a lovely ball out to the right wing. They do stretch the play. He's got them playing some good football, Joey Barton, the colourful Fleetwood manager. Cross from the right has gone behind though from Wes Burns, the former Bristol City man. Goal kick to the Hatters. And I don't know about you, Shaun, how did you used to find pre-season in these kind of conditions?
Yeah, I didn't like it. It's a bit too hot maybe for me. But you know, the lads will, you know, they look fit, they look sharp. It's all about game time, getting a bit more fitness in your legs and a bit more sharpness. But County started well. It's been an even game so far. Fleetwood just dictated a bit more of the play at the moment, but yeah, good start from County.
County again using the height of Bennett to good effect. This time Fleetwood survive. Again, it's in midfield. He's so comfortable on the ball, Paul Coots, the former Sheffield United man. Back with the goalkeeper who plays it out to Boys. He's very comfortable on this left side. Oh, I guess I say that. He overran the ball and Jennings tries to pick his pocket. That will be a throw-in to Fleetwood near side. Well, Boys, he might be comfortable. He was a bit too comfortable that time.
Yeah, and that was a proper full-blooded tackle there. Connor didn't leave anything, and neither did Boys, to be fair. So, yeah, great tackle, both fully committed into the ball, and yeah, it's a good 50-50.
Well, last pre-season in 2019, Fleetwood were in Portugal. Today they're in Carrington. Diagonal ball from Boys is slightly overhit. Mark Kitchen can let that run. The linesman on the far side indicates a County throw. Jim Gannon down below, as you wouldn't know, it was a pre-season game. The way he's already getting involved, issuing instructions, trying to get his new charges into the way of thinking.
It's obviously a bit of a different shape for County. I don't think they'd probably work on it in training and stuff like that, but you know, I think they've just got Jennings just in behind the front two. You know, Reed's playing quite central at the moment, he's sort of drifting out as County get the ball up.
A slip by Palmer has allowed Madden in, but he's rescued by goalkeeper Hinchliffe. The danger's not quite past yet though, as Burns strikes from distance. It's off target from Wes Burns. Well, those are the kind of things that you do get in pre-season. The slip from Ash Palmer was untypical, but it was almost costly, and Ben Hinchliffe, good save.
Yeah, good save from Ben Hinchliffe. You know, Madden scored 20 goals last year, you put your hands to him scoring there, but you know, Ben Hinchliffe, when he comes out, makes himself so big, and it was a good save. I think Ash Palmer just slipped, maybe overran the ball a little bit and slipped. But yeah, them sort of things, like you say, happening maybe in pre-season. Get them mistakes out of your legs now.
Hinchliffe with the long ball. Bennett with the flick again, trying to find Reed, who's running beyond the centre halves, but alert to the danger. Boys again, brings it up towards halfway. To midfield. Fleetwood with Coots again. Holgate. Pushed out to the right wing for Burns, who went close a moment or two ago. Coots again. He's operating almost as a sweeper, Coots. He's the skipper of the team. He's a midfield player by trade, but dropping in, making almost a back three to match County up.
Yeah, really experienced, looks great on the ball, almost just dictating the tempo that Fleetwood play at, so he's a good player. Obviously played at considerably higher standard than Fleetwood at the moment, but yeah, looks really good, Paul Coots.
Callum Camp's the more creative of the midfield players. He was actually a teammate of Mark Kitchings when they were together at Dale. That's a good ball down the line now for Wes Burns. Burns taking on Kitching on the far side. The cross is just about cleared. Oh, that's very clever from Maynard, anticipating the bounce, nodding it back to Ben Hinchliffe and getting his side out of a potential spot of trouble there. Good defending from Maynard. These two sides, by the way, have met a couple of times before, back in 2011. County were beaten 4-2 at home by Fleetwood in the old Blue Square Prem, as it was in those days. Antonio German, remember him, scored the 2 County goals. And then a couple of months later, County went to Fleetwood, and a certain Jamie Vardy scored for Fleetwood in a 2-1 win over the Hatters. I wonder what happened to him.
Yeah, good from County, like the way they're trying to play out from the back. You know, trying to get Maynard just sitting off a little bit to try and get the ball off Hinchcliffe and try and play, because you know you want to try and get Rooney on the ball as much as possible, because I think him in that middle of the park can really dictate play for County.
You mentioned the formation before, Shaun. It's interesting with Rooney, isn't it? He's wearing 10, and I kind of assume when you look at his tremendous goal-scoring record that he plays most of his career as a 10, but in actual fact he's quite happy as an 8, and that's where he is today.
Yeah, and it looks like they've got with a 3-4-3, you've got Maynard maybe sitting a little bit deeper, and especially when County get on the ball, maybe Rooney's trying to join in, but they you know, when they're defending County, look to have, you know, the almost the three and the bank of four in front to try and shield Ben Hinchcliffe's goal.
Again, the switch of play from Fleetwood up to Madden, back to Boys, the Liverpool youngster. The support now from Holgate. Lovely diagonal, and it's almost, well, it has caught Minihan out. The cross from the left is too deep though. Keighren should be able just to help it on, and does. Minihan trying to control that with the outside of his right on that diagonal.
Yeah,
I think if he had his time again, might do that differently, but he's got away with it.
It's a tough ball when it comes inside like that, because he's sort of gone over his head. County behind that were quite good defensively.
Madden over the top, County looking for a flag that never came. Well, it did eventually. Oof. Ben Hinchcliffe didn't know. Fires that upfield, it was very late, the flag. So no panic in the end, except for me. It's been 5 months.
I know, good tempo to the game though, you know, both teams looking, you know, sharp.
When they do start to knock it around Fleetwood, you can see the quality, and this is a chance, and there's the opener. Lovely skill, edge of the box, Ched Evans the provider, Josh Morris with the finish, and it's Fleetwood who've taken the lead, and there was just 1 or 2 signs in the build-up there that they were starting to get a grip on the game.
Yeah, I think over the last 5 or 10 minutes just started controlling the play a little bit more. I don't really see them, you know, something and nothing. The ball got sort of played in. Evans sort of had the, you know, the freedom of the pitch, and then I think it was Morris who just I don't know where Jamie Stott was, if he got a bit tracked to the ball, and yeah, just slotted it past Ben Hinchcliffe in goal. So good pass from Evans though, and a good finish from Morris.
Josh Morris finishing off a crisp passing move by the Cod Army on the edge of the County penalty area. The Hatters looking a little sluggish as they try to keep Fleetwood out. But you've got to remind yourself, this is a team that was knocking on the door of the Championship just a few short weeks ago.
Yeah, and they've obviously come here with pretty much, you know, a couple of new signings, but you know, the front two especially, you know, top quality League One players. So you know, they'll have a tough game against them two today, the back three.
County might feel they were unlucky to miss out on the playoffs because of the COVID situation in March. Fleetwood, well, they reckon they were on the charge for the automatic promotion places, 11 unbeaten at the end of last season under Joey Barton. And it looked as though they were going to challenge for the top spots, but in the end had to settle for a playoff place, and ultimately fell over 2 legs against Wycombe Wanderers, who were, of course, ultimately promoted. Here's the skipper again, Coops.
Yeah, it sort of killed the momentum. Maybe, you know, some teams maybe in different leagues had the break, but probably killed Fleetwood that the break, because they were on a fantastic run, and you're looking almost to maybe even break into the top 2 towards the end of the season.
That's another dangerous ball in behind the left-sided Keighren, but Jamie Stott, alert to the danger, slides in before Burns can do any more damage. It is a throw-in, quickly taken. Burns to Evans. Ched Evans, still a quality player, of course, 31 now. And they're knocking on the door again here. It's a chance on the edge of the box. Well, it's an ambitious ball out to the right wing for Evans. It was always a big ask for him to get on the end of that one, though, from strike partner Paddy Madden, the Irish centre forward, feeding the Welshman on the right wing, but too heavy with the pass. And it's a goal kick to the Hatters. So 1-0 to Fleetwood. Jim Gowan will have seen plenty so far, Shaun, he'll be pleased about.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, he's getting used to the shape. They probably won't have played this often, and you know, I think Fleetwood are also, they're sort of playing, you know, they're maybe playing sometimes, you know, 3 at the back sometimes, and they're pushing quite high up. So you know, really tough opposition for County. But yeah, they started well, obviously 1 behind, but it doesn't look too much of a gap, as you say, that Fleetwood are massively on top.
County's next pre-season game is Rochdale next weekend, and we do have plans to hopefully stream that one for you as well. So keep an eye on the County's website and Twitter account for all the updates. Here's Rooney. Oh, lovely drag back to shake off his opposite number, Camps. Now Ash Palmer, long diagonal, too long in fact. Quite found the range of those long balls yet. County's back three. Sails over Minihan.
You know, he's a fantastic defender, Ash Palmer, probably one of the best in the league for me, but probably one area of his game that they'll probably want him to work with, maybe that ball playing out from the back, especially with County playing three at the back. You need that middle centre half really to be really comfortable on the ball, to play it into midfield quite quickly, to get County on the front foot. But defensively wise, he was outstanding last season again.
Shaun was mentioning where Fleetwood were up to in their preparations. They do, of course, start a lot earlier than the Hatters in terms of competitive fixtures. The Carabao Cup will be getting underway on the 5th of September, the EFL on the 12th of September. County, of course, preparing to start again in October, so there is a slightly different stage in terms of pre-season preparation for these two teams. Fleetwood, it's been a really meteoric rise, hasn't it, for them? As County were headed one way, Fleetwood really were going the other. It seems incredible to think they won the Northern Premier League title in 2008. And here they are again, looking for goal number 2, chance maybe from the edge of the box. County closing down the options here and forcing Coots to go wide. Opportunity though for Burns to take on Kitching. He's defended that well. You always know you've done well, Shaun, as a defender when the attacking player just looks at the linesman in hope more than expectation of a free kick.
Definitely, I think he's been County's brightest player so far. He's done well defensively and he's got forward well. It's a really good start for Kitching on the left-hand side.
Hatters on the front foot now, down the left wing. So the big disappointment, I suppose, from a County perspective in the overall context of the game is they've yet to trouble the trialist goalkeeper. Joey Barton's probably not learnt too much about his potential number 1 yet.
I think County, when you look just a little bit, maybe patterns of play going forward, stuff they're working on in training, maybe just, that'll be stuff about the sharpness, and maybe Fleetwood a couple of weeks ahead of County in terms of fitness, sharpness levels have just shown a little bit so far.
Sam Minihan really pinned back in this first half as Madden again tracks the ball like a magnet, edge of the box, finds Ched Evans, thought about the shot, now he's taking on Hogan, but he's massively overrun it. So Stott, I should say, was trying to take on, but he's overrun the ball. It goes behind for a goal kick to the Hatters. Ched Evans, controversial striker, of course, but what a player to have in your ranks. His career, of course, interrupted by a prison sentence for a rape conviction that was later quashed. So it's been a difficult time for him as well to rebuild his career. But the Welshman, after spells with Chesterfield and again at Sheffield United, has signed permanently for Fleetwood after an initial season-long loan. Has really rediscovered some of that form that he had before his troubles. Here's Lewis Maynard. Fleetwood looking for a free kick. They're not going to get it. County can break now down that left-hand side. Jennings playing quite deep in these early stages of the game. Back to Maynard. Maynard wanted to switch it to the right, spotted the run of Minihan, but forced back in field. Hogan goes long towards Alex Reid, who knocked it back towards Bennett, who strikes it. Again, he was falling over as he tried to do so, but there was a little nick on the ball as it came through, and it will be a County corner. That was better from the Hatters going forward.
Yeah, I think, maybe Jim will probably a bit, over the last 5 minutes or so give the ball away a little bit too easy in the central areas, but good ball in from Hogan into Reid. Good knockdown, I think. It was unlucky because it was just a deflection from a Fleetwood player, but good move from County.
Back on his feet, Richie Bennett. May well be seeking to get on the end of this right-footed in-swinger. It's a terrific delivery for the far post, but it's dealt with well by Boys, the youngster from Liverpool, but it'll be another County corner. Well, that's we know he's a set-piece specialist, John Rooney, but that was just an example of what he's capable of.
Yeah, I think you can see his quality already. I think in terms of set pieces and things like that, he'll have a lot of quality to County this year from both corners and obviously free kicks in and around goal. So yeah, good start from John Rooney. He'd probably like to be on the ball a little bit more than he has, but maybe County just maybe need to stretch the game a little bit more, go, you know, play in the channels sometimes so they can get on the front foot.
Well, I know it's a regulation, but it seems odd to be having a water break just as you forced a second successive corner, but the referee has decided. It is a hot day, very warm out there at pitch level, and the referee has decided that they'll have the water break before County take their corner, which I'm sure that particularly suits either team, but there you go. I don't know how you feel about the water break, Shaun. I think on a day like this it makes perfect sense, but when I've been watching it in the Premier League, when it's an enforced one, it's chucking it down with rain, it didn't seem to make much sense.
Yeah, I think, you know, it became a little bit of a farce for me towards the end when you were watching it, because it almost was a tactical break for managers to sort of make little tactical changes and stuff, and I don't think that was really what was intended for. You know, it's a hot day today, the lads will need a lot of water, so on a day like today and in pre-season, but for me, I don't know if they've announced it yet, but you know, I've definitely scrapped the water break for when the season returns in September and October, respectively.
We've talked a lot, Shaun, about the new signings that County have made, but in many ways, is the biggest signing getting the manager tied down for another 2 years?
Yeah, just that continuity. You know, they've got 5 or 6 lads, you know, signed up as well that have been there for the last 2 or 3 seasons. You know, to keep that spirit, you know, the camaraderie that they've had in that time. You know, obviously Jamie Stott is a new signing, but he's been on loan a couple of times to County. He's probably played 50 or 60 games already for the Hatters. So, you know, there's a lot of, you know, new signings, but keeping the manager and his backroom staff was crucial, really. And I think he's added to the squad. You know, he's looked at his squad, you know, looked at maybe the weaknesses, and he's added some massive quality, especially going forward. You know, especially out in the wide positions where sometimes County last year didn't maybe have options maybe off the bench to change the game. I think he'll have that in abundance.
And not only, of course, the manager, but his backroom staff as well, including a man you know well. You were chatting to him earlier, Dave Conlon, and the quiet man in the background, but he gave you your debut, as he said earlier, at Atherton Coles as a 16-year-old, and he brings a lot to the table, and again, a really important addition to the team, the backroom team. Yeah,
he was player manager back then, so I played centre half alongside him. I think Dave's legs, he'll probably say we're going at that point. But yeah, you know, he'll suit Jim down to the ground. You know, very astute tactically, good on the training pitch. You know, and he'll complement Jim really well. So it's great that he's got all these backroom staff tied down as they make the transition from, you know, the part-time model or the hybrid model they had last season to the full-time model this season. I think that'll only add, you know, points to County this season.
So after a 2 or 3 minute break for Fluids, we now have a corner. Rooney again standing over this one. So this will be different to the last one, an outswinger this time from John Rooney. Brother Wayne, of course, only lives down the road. He reckons he will come and see a few games if he can at Edgeley Park. So Rooney with the corner. Decent delivery, it's just a little too deep. Kitching will keep it alive on the far side, just lost his footing though, and that allowed Coots to make the challenge, put it out for a throw-in. Hunters not certainly not benefiting from that water break, coming in between 2 quick corners.
I think especially for them sort of set pieces, it was a little bit flatter, so you know they were a bit, especially the second one was a bit lofty from Rooney, they were a bit flatter, and as you know, if you're coming from the centre half, you want something you can attack and no one header for a goal. So yeah, obviously not a bad corner, but usually you want them a little bit flatter than that from Rooney.
One thing we've not spoken about, we may do at half-time though, is the quality of the facilities here at Carrington. It is a terrific complex. County signed a lease to keep them here for a few years until they're able to develop their own facility back in the borough of Stockport. But in the absence of that, couldn't ask for much better than County have got. I had a little look round this morning in terms of the refit. It really is root and branch. It's going to be a terrific facility when it's complete, and it already is a long way down the line. And I'm sure Jim Gannon and the staff are delighted to have this now. It's a terrific location as well.
I was going to say that, and you probably won't get many better facilities of this outside maybe the Championship where the club are aiming to get back to. So, you know, attracting players now. You've got no 3-year lease here. You know, you can show around the training ground and stuff. It's just great to be part of. I'm sure, you know, the lads signing deals want to progress this club forward. I know there's been talk in the press since the new owner came in about his ambitions. So it's great to see them sort of ambitions becoming a bit more reality and stuff like this.
Fleetwood again trying to get the ball wide. It was a foul this time on Keighren by Burns. Keighren seems to be coping pretty well with Burns on that far side. He's a good player. Whereas Burns, I do like him. I've followed his career. He was on loan at Aberdeen in the Scottish Premier League, having signed from Bristol City in 2017. Goal scoring right winger. Came close early on in this one. It's Josh Morris whose goal separates the two sides just past the midway point of the first half. It's Hogan. Ian Hogan, of course, a former Fleetwood man himself. He won promotion to League One with the Cod Army. Palmer. Ball with Stocks. 3 goals in 49 appearances for County over his various loan spells. Back to Palmer. County passing it around very confidently at the back. Hogan coming inside and finding Rooney. Immediately closed down by 2 red shirts. Palmer. County passing it around nicely, but it's all in front of the visitors at the moment. Long ball over the top, but too long again. Goalkeeper able to claim. Camps. It's a nice change of direction from Callum Camps. Morris, the goal scorer, back out to the trialist on the right. He brings it into County territory. Back to halfway. Coops again, probing. Plays it out to the left for Boys. It's slightly behind the Liverpool youngster. Looks as though Fleetwood are going to make a change actually quite shortly. Talk about that when it happens, as Madden finds Boys again. Coops pulling the strings from that holding midfield position, sitting between the centre halves. Holgate now. Harrison Holgate. He's had a couple of loan spells in non-league with Ashton United and Stalybridge. Morgan Boys again. High hopes for Boys at Anfield. He's made a couple of appearances for the first team. Played against Villa in the League Cup.
He's a good athlete, Boys, on this, you know, very comfortable on the ball. You know, and I think, you know, as I say, it's a massively important year for him to come and get some, you know, competitive football in his legs.
He certainly looks the part. There's Coops under pressure from Reed. And here's the change now for the visitors. It's going to be Harvey Saunders to come on. And if the name sounds familiar, he has played against the Hatters before during a loan spell with Darlington. So they can't make the change just yet. He's a talented player though, Harvey Saunders. Looking forward to seeing him actually wearing 20. Pacey left-sided attacker. So Sam Minihan might have his hands full for the rest of this half. Ball down the inside left channel for Fleetwood, runs through to Ben Hinchliffe. Hinchliffe gathering it safely. Bowls it out to Rooney in a deep lying position. Rooney, Jennings, turns, rides the challenges, does well to work it out to the left, just played it behind Keighren, who had to check his run, comes back and finds Stott on halfway. Kept the ball nicely there, County, under pressure from Fleetwood's midfield. Maynard. Minihan. Immediately, as soon as he touched the ball, he was closed down by Danny Andrew.
I think that's probably, you can sum up maybe County's half there. As soon as he seems to get into Fleetwood's half, it just doesn't seem to quite click going forward. And you usually find, later on down in pre-season when you move forward, players get a bit more sharpness, that them sort of touches come off a little bit better. But probably one disappointment from Jim so far. They haven't really troubled Fleetwood's neutralised goalkeeper.
Danny Andrew miscontrols, slices his clearance. That'll be a throw into the Hatters when play resumes. Sam Minihan playing a lot further forward in the last few minutes, and he's asked a question or two of the Fleetwood defence as a result. Here's the change anyway for Cod Army.
It's interesting, just Jim's probably 10 15 yards below us, and when you play three at the back, he was just saying to Liam, you can step forward a little bit, and that's probably what we need to maybe work on as a three, where you're sort of on a sort of angle, especially Stock and Hogan, we can't maybe sit a little bit deeper to open up the game a little bit quicker.
Shed Evans, who's come off, he's had a problem. As County force another corner, and again Sam Minihan down this right hand side. Getting a bit of change out of the Fleetwood defence since really abandoning almost his defensive ambitions and really asking some questions. It's another County corner then. Rooney to take again. Can he produce here? Right-footed outswing, a deep far post. Ooh, the header from Hogan was off target that time. Good communication though. I thought Richie Bennett was probably favourite to nod that one goalwards, but I think Hogan must have shouted and told him to leave it. Unfortunately, couldn't quite direct it goalwards, but good delivery.
Yeah, and there'll be a set threats from set plays this year. Hogan, Palmer, Stott, Bennett, Reed, Maynard, sizable team. So again, though, for me, there was something working on training. I'd love to see it more. So got running onto something. It was a bit more floated that time. Hogan got well, but it's so difficult to score from 12 yards when there's no pace in the ball.
The lad who's come on to replace Shed Evans, Harvey Saunders, got to quit his job in a coffee shop to go full time with Fleetwood. And, as I say, they signed him in the January 2019 and then went back to Darlington on loan. He's made 8 first team appearances so far, but he's a lively striker, Harvey Saunders. Playing through the middle with Madden to the left of him, so it is a straight swap for Ched Evans.
Morris is, I don't know if Morris is playing so high, I don't know if he's trying to close the ball.
Again, turnover of possession in their own half could be costly. The ball out to the left wing for Andrews to cross. The ball was deep. There's a penalty here, Referee spotted it. Stock had his arm on the back of Wes Burns, who threw himself to the ground. It's a yellow for Stott as well. All you can say though, Shaun, the ball was nowhere near the incident.
I think it might be Keighren coming around the back, but he's almost gone too far in. He's almost gone 10 yards over his head. I don't know if he thought it's gone too far in. Soft penalty for me, but I don't know why defenders didn't need to do it really. I don't know if he didn't know what was behind him, because he would have been the last line of defence on that side, but stupid foul, and Fleetwood got a penalty. Yeah, my apologies, Shaun, you must have a better view than me. It is Keighren. I am 10 foot lower than you, so
10 foot taller. Penalty to Fleetwood. Chance to double their lead. It'll be Paddy Madden to take this one. No mistake, sends Hinchliffe the wrong way. County trail by 2-0. It's a soft penalty to concede, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just needless really from Keighren. He's probably been County's best player for me in the first half, but all the penalties give away. Maybe a bit of naivety, and he didn't really know what was behind it. Once it's poor defending, you've always got to open your body up. Needless penalty away, Fleetwood go 2-0 up.
Well, the visitors with a 2-goal advantage now. Harvey Saunders is using his pace to chase down anything. That's the big difference between him and Ched Evans. A lot quicker. He'll chase every lost cause and try and terrorise County's back three.
great energy there from Saunders. Must have sprinted 30 yards to close the keeper down and gets Fleetwood back on the ball. So I'm sure that'll be instilled in him from the manager. He was that sort of player himself. Great play from Saunders.
It might not be the worst change ever on a day like this, conditions. It's Coots again.
It'll probably be a bad change if you count his back three, because I imagine they'll be doing a lot more running behind, because already he's starting to trouble County behind. No centre half that's running towards their own goal.
It's a great run by Saunders as well, peels off the shoulder of Hogan, collects the ball through the inside left channel, but Hogan recovers, helped out by Minihan, who clears the ball upfield. Bennett glancing it on, Reed will chase, full-blooded, 50-50 there. The ball bounces towards our commentary position, but there are replacements down by the pitch. It's a County throw, which Sam Minihan will take. In fact, he's going to leave it for Hogan. It was good defending in the end by Hogan and Minihan. It's County right. Yeah. Jamie Stock now to bring it out for the Hatters.
You saw the one from Saunders again, though. You give them something different. It'll be a good test for the back three. They give something in behind, so they'll have to, especially the back, will have to communicate well to pass it on and things like that. So good run from Saunders, but good defending from Hogan in the end.
Jennings right wing, Reed's been pulled all over the place, but the referee isn't interested. Fleetwood clear the ball. It's an industrial clearance in the end from Danny Andrew.
That was a definite foul for me. He was, he rolled him well and he pulled him to the floor. It was a definite foul.
Madden takes on Jennings. Maynard with the interception. Cost of the throw. County looking a little rattled by that second goal and maybe still feeling slightly aggrieved at the award, but I guess it doesn't matter where the ball is these days, does it? If there's contact, there's a penalty.
Yeah, it was a stupid penalty to give away, wasn't it, from Keighren? You look back and think might have touched him, but for me, you've got the other bit was probably the poor bit of defending that he did, where he didn't open his body up. He's got too far in to the far post in there, and he's lost his man and he's had to pull it down for a penalty.
Fleetwood, who've had one pre-season friendly already, a 4-2 win over Carlisle United. And here's Saunders again looking to get in behind. The flag stays down as Saunders holds it up, feeds it out to the left for Danny Andrew. They've got players on an overload on this left side as the cross comes in from Morris, the scorer of the first. It's too deep this time. Burns will struggle to keep that one alive on the opposite touchline. Throw in to the Hatters.
Saunders look really lively since he's come on. County again, though, getting caught a little bit. I think it might have been Jamie Stockport County. Just got to pass him on when someone runs off the right. You've got to communicate, pass him on. So, and that's otherwise Ashpalm won't be able to know what's going on off him.
Remains County 0, Fleetwood Town 2. There's a break on here. Reed gets his head up and spots Minihan, but he's been rather clumsily brought down by Coots. He's speaking to the Scottish skipper from our matchday referee.
I can't believe he's not Keighren for the first one.
Yeah, it's a cynical one, isn't it? Professional foul.
If he's put Keighren for the penalty, he's put him there. It's so cynical. It's a shame really that it's probably the only time in the first half County have actually got in behind Paul Coots.
Wasn't the best of balls from Palmer. As a result, Stock was always stretching and he's lost it. And now Burns with a chance to cross near post. Palmer, rather Hinchliffe fumbles it, and the ricochet off the bar comes to County's rescue. How that's not 3-0, I don't know. He really should have scored then. It was a golden opportunity. Came from a poor pass initially by Palmer, which led to a miscontrol from Stock. Swift break down the right then by Fleetwood, and Callum Camps, well, how he's not made it 3, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a bit of poor. Ben Hinchliffe really supported him to take that into his clubs as well. As I said before, one area of Palmer's game, and hopefully full-time football will do that for him. move on the ball, and he's going to play, especially in that middle, to ping it out wide to both these other centre halves and full backs. Better on the ball to stop errors like that.
Fleetwood Town, 6 attempts in this first half, 3 of those on target, 2 of those in the back of the net. County, just 3 attempts on goal, all of them off target. And that would be the biggest concern, I suppose, that County haven't tested this trialist goalkeeper, but you have to remind yourself who the opposition are. The team that was on the brink of the championship when COVID-19 got involved. Minihan, that's a good surging run from Minihan, skipping through the challenges, has the composure to go back outside again, find Bennett to Hogan, along the deck now for Rooney, trying to feed it back out to the wing again. Minihan still scrapping for the ball and winning it. Great work from Minihan as he picks the pocket of Coots. Hogan's cross headed away by Holgate. And then Morris, well, no foul says the referee, and you could see Jennings won the ball. Maynard to Rooney. Jennings. County now with some crisp passing of their own in the Fleetwood half. Hogan, first time. Finding Minihan. Chance to cross. Far post. Keeper comes. He flaps at it. County keep it alive on the left flank. Kitching. The 1-2 with Connor Jennings, whose brother James, of course, is going to play in the second half. County will be fielding an entirely different team in the second half, and I should just mention that Paul Turnbull and Sam Walker will feature in that 11 as well. Although officially released by the club, their contracts have been extended on a month-to-month basis to give them the opportunity to stay fit, to keep involved, and County actively helping them both to find new clubs. And it's a good gesture by County, isn't it, to keep 2 of the promotion heroes, the title winners, involved.
Yeah, we've had some tough positions in the summer. The manager and 2 massive players for County in the past 2 or 3 seasons. Great gesture from the club to keep them while we play up for a new club and keep themselves fit. So it'll be good to see them put on the County shirt again.
Just waiting for the board to go up to show us the added time at the end of this first half. It's been absorbing, but it's just been lovely to watch some football live, isn't it? It's you feel very privileged to be here.
I was going to say, you generally feel privileged to actually come and watch a live game of football. It was good play from County, actually, good one-touch passing down here from Hogan. I think that's what some would be wanting to see from Stockport Hogan. Getting forward a little bit more, some Minihan and Kitchen on the far side can push on and really always play as wingers when County have the ball. It is tough because they're playing against quality opposition, but especially later on in pre-season when maybe playing teams at a similar level, I'm sure he's playing this formation. You want to see, especially Hogan and Stocks, push on 5 yards for him to give County a bit more momentum going forward.
It's been a while. The 4th officials haven't been there with that board. It's been 5 months. I think he's just about got there. Incidentally, Jordan Williams, I can tell you, he is here today, but he's not going to be involved in the game, so won't be featuring in the second half. Signed a little bit late, really, to take part in the game when he probably doesn't know anyone's names yet. So Jordan Williams, what an addition he is to the squad, and the striking options at Jim Gannon's disposal. Absolutely terrifying. Some big decisions for Jim to make in terms of team selection. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, well, you want 18, 19 players at the level County, right? Competing for that start of the ladder. So, pre-season, that's one of the things that you do when you compete for your shirt at the start of the season. I'm sure Jim will probably, have the majority of the starting line thought about. He's probably thought about it even for this game, perhaps. But it's a massive chance for people who maybe, wouldn't probably have got a look in at the start of the season to try and stamp their authority on the team sheet as pre-season evolves.
2-0 Fleetwood lead as we approach the half-time whistle. Indeed, there it is, the tail of the tape. Well, it was the visitors who took the lead after 16 minutes. It was a lovely finish from Josh Morris, the experienced left-sided midfielder, finishing off a crisp passing move slotting it home from close range to give Fleetwood Town the lead. 38 minutes gone when Mark Kitching, with a needless challenge really on Wes Byrne, the referee stepped up and awarded a penalty. Paddy Madden converting from 12 yards to make it 2. Should have been 3 right on the stroke of half time. Ben Hinchcliffe spilling a tame effort really, but on the rebound Callum Camps unable to do anything other than smash it against the crossbar. The woodwork coming to County's rescue and giving us a half-time scoreline of Stockport County 0, Fleetwood Town 2.
Anything goes when you're dealing with the incomparable, infamous, the one and only Nitro. With the nice throw, I ain't your average Joe, but I walk it and I talk it, acting like I know. Anything goes when you're dealing with the incomparable, infamous, the one and only Nitro. With the nice throw, I ain't your average Joe, but I walk it and I talk it, acting like I know. On Friday nights, I hold the mic like a doty stick, blowing smoke and spitting bars. I'm known for that, you know that. Locked in the cipher with an MC and a master key. Is this your open house? Is what everybody keep asking me. Of course it is.
Up top, it's Alex Curran and Niall Bell, with a trialist playing just in the hole behind them, who's on the ball now. So that's the way County line up for this second half. And Jordan Downing, early touch for him. Out to this left-hand side now for James Jennings, Stockport lad. He's had to wait a long time to get his chance in the blue and white of the Hatters, but he's, I can tell you, very, very proud to be playing for Stockport County. Long diagonal out to the left for Stevenson to chase. And, well, Shaun, as somebody who's suffered their own injury nightmares through their career, I'm sure you can really sympathise with Darren Stevenson for what he's gone through in the last couple of years, but goodness me, isn't it good to see him back out there? Yeah, it's just always great when somebody's suffered injuries to see him, come back. He looks fit and strong, which is good. I'm sure he's been in the gym. It's just great to just see him back out in a County shirt. So all credit to him for coming back and after his prolonged injury spell. Matters with some defending to do over on the far side. It's Adam Thomas, Mr. Versatile, clearing the ball down that right touchline, getting the award of a throw-in as well. Will be taken by Jordan Keighren, playing right side of that back three. Jordan Downing in the middle, and James Jennings to the left. More loose in midfield is Curran. Alex Curran, another, of course, who suffered a horrendous injury in the last year. Beautifully controlled by Bell, but the layoff to Walker didn't quite come off. County get it back again, though, in central midfield with the former captain, Paul Turnbull, who, of course, lifted the trophy, County's first trophy for 52, first title I should say, for 52 years. And, speaking of title winning sides, I should just mention Colin Parry, who sadly passed away this week. He was one of the 1964-65 Cup heroes, of course, and he was in that championship squad of 1967 as well, but has sadly passed away. Another Stockport lad. He was based on Dale Street in Edgeley, and ended up moving to Rochdale actually, and was part of their first ever promotion side in 1969. I think he probably would have stayed at County but for the form of Matt Woods and Eddie Stewart. So very sad news that, and our thoughts and our condolences are with the friends and family of Colin Parry. And there will of course be a tribute on the Stockport County website in due course. County on the ball. Same formation, Shaun, isn't it? Looks like, I wonder whether Jim's fancying this for the new season, a back three.
Yeah, I think it gives a lot more dynamism. It's quite a flexible formation, 3-4-3, and we get a lot of space out wide. So with County signing some real quality up front, maybe he's got to look at this formation for the season. But I'm sure knowing Jim Gannon, he's very strong tactically. He might have 3 or 4 different formations that are used throughout the season, depending on opposition. Yeah, interesting. He's lined up exactly the same in the first half as in the second half formation-wise.
Strange pass by Camps. County have a throw in. Halfway line, left side. It's JJ to take it, as he's known. James Jennings. Tough, versatile left back. Actually was in County's centre of excellence as a youngster. Come through it as a schoolboy at Manchester City as well. But he's had a really good professional career with Macclesfield, Keighren, Cambridge, Mansfield, Forest Green and Cheltenham. Well over 400 senior appearances under his belt. Good player, Jennings. Good addition to the squad. Here's Jordan Downing. Finds Paul Turnbull. On the right side is Keighren. Helping it on towards Keighren. Keighren dispossessed, but County have a throw on the far side. Alex Keighren, who, as I say, broke his leg at the start of this year. He was on loan at FC United at the time. He's only made 2 first-team appearances so far. But he's a player with terrific potential. Look forward to seeing more of him. Fleetwood on the ball.
Such a shame, reports and say he's doing really well at FC United. He's playing every game, in that sort of pocket off the front lad. So it'd be good to see, great to see him back, playing. Hopefully he gets a few opportunities this year, but he'll be one of them wanting to massively, have a fantastic pre-season to put himself in the manager's thoughts first game of the season.
County still trailing 2-0, but they've made 11 substitutions at the break, so let's see what can change. Fleetwood with the same 11. No changes for the Cod Army. Well, they did make one enforced change during the first half, when Ched Evans seemed to go off with an injury, and Harvey Saunders, pacey striker, has come on to replace him. Here's Camps. Oh, it's good pressure that from the Hatters to win the ball back. Good turnover of possession now and a chance to play it out to the right wing for Adam Thomas. It was just slightly overhit though. That was an opportunity, but the trialist in midfield unable to pick out the run of County's right wing back. Adam Thomas, and we talked a lot about new signings, but of course so important that County were able to tie down players like Adam Thomas for the new campaign. Fleetwood coming forward, down the right with Burns, who's got the better of Stevenson. It's a good cross, it's a free header. I think Saunders, when he looks at that again, he'll feel he should have done better.
Yeah, it's a good block from Jordan Keighren, got close to him and made a good interception. Good play down this right-hand side from Burns. He's done well today, Burns. It's a threat, as has Saunders since he's come on as well.
Boys. Fleetwood on the ball with their own trialist at right back. Plays it down that inside right channel. County, the sheer weight of numbers easing Saunders off the ball. It's forward now to Niall Bell. Bell, very aggressive, very strong, did well there to shrug off the defender. Sam Walker now on the ball. Plays it back to Jennings. Good quality down this left side now for County with Jennings, Walker and Stevenson. I mean, that's a Football League trio. Yeah. Any other club. We're not that bad down the right either, as Keighren plays it forward. Bell gives it back. A more ambitious pass by Keighren. Should be easy enough for Fleetwood to mop up.
I think that's probably in the first half. Counts is probably the biggest disappointment. Just in the final third, didn't really offer a great deal. As I said, but my thoughts in pre-season, as you get fitter, sharper, your strikers will become the quality starts to come through. So maybe it's just the level of fitness and sharpness that County front three were at in the first half where it didn't seem to just click. And coupled with the fact that they are generally playing against a very good opposition in Fleetwood.
I'm right in saying Jake Kirby was County's top scorer in pre-season last time round. He scored 5 during the summer. So of course didn't complete the campaign. Here's Coots again. It's a good tackle on the halfway line. Trialist obviously keen to impress. Here's Keighren sweeping it out to the right wing, but again it was an over-ambitious ball. And that's been the difference. County occasionally just overhitting these passes, and we've seen Fleetwood more crisp perhaps in their passing, more one touch.
Yeah, just sometimes there from Keighren, he's looking to impress, just got to keep it simple for me. He's tried on his bad foot a 40-yard switch of play, which obviously if it comes off looks good, but County built up some good momentum there, he's just wasted it by a poor pass.
Ball's gone skywards here from Josh Morris, and County have benefited. Snapshot from the edge of the box from Niall Bell. Well, it was on target. Keeper with a comfortable save. He'd be disappointed had he let that in, but it's a shot on target from the Hatters.
Yeah, good play from Belly. He did well on this near side before, getting his body in. He massively wanted to impress this year, to stake a claim to be County's number 9, competing against a bit more experience in Bennett, but he's got to be more consistent, Bell, and he's probably got to improve his hold-up play, but great turn there, and decent effort, relatively comfortable save from the keeper, but good play from Niall Bell.
6 goals last season for Niall Bell, 13 in County's title season. He's actually scored 19 in 86 appearances now for the club, so it's not a bad return really when you put it in those terms, and it can be a handful on his day, and already he's asked 1 or 2 questions of his Fleetwood defence since coming on at half-time. Here's Wes Burns though, tricky customer cutting in from the right flank. Coots again in midfield. Touch back out to the right by Burns. Oh, Camps, little drop of the shoulder. Out to the right wing, Burns with a chance to cross. There's Madden arriving at the far post. It's well defended in the end by Adam Thomas, who spotted the danger, tracked back all the way. County have conceded only their second corner of the afternoon. Taken quickly and clipped in by Camps, too close to the goalkeeper. And the Hatters back on the ball.
I think you were right then, John, though, when you said Niall Bell on his day is a massive handful. For me, his day has got to be more consistent, and he's a young lad, but he's got to not, this season's massive for him. He's got to be more consistent because, like you said, on his day, he is pretty much unplayable in the league with County playing him, but he's got to do it more often than not to stake a regular starting place. And his record 1986 isn't bad, considering the vast half of that's probably come off the bench in sometimes playing second foil to some other people, but he's got to try and stake his claim in the team this year, and he looks sharp. Hopefully he's done his work over the off season to make sure he's coming back really fit and strong.
There's Jennings again on the ball. I'll say we haven't got the benefit of knowing precisely, but it feels as though County have had more of the ball in these early stages of the second half, Shaun.
Yeah, definitely. They look quite comfortable, County, at the start of this half. Again, not really, maybe pushing on up the pitch a little bit further, but keeping the ball well. 4 terminals look good. Commentators curse, he just shan't one out of play. But yeah, they've done well in the first sort of 5-10 minutes of the second half. And probably look the better team, if I'm honest, so far.
Still 2-0 to the Cod Army, as they're affectionately known. The ball is on the Fleetwood left. It's a good pressing game from County, they're forcing Fleetwood back into their own half here. Fresh legs causing problems as Fleetwood try to play out from the back, and they've made a mistake as a result. Great tenacity from Jennings again. A little unlucky, he didn't manage to retain possession. Saunders still full of running, having come on late in the second half. It's a terrific sliding tackle from Walker to slow his momentum. Fleetwood come again though. It's Camps, former Dale man, getting it onto his stronger right foot and finding Coots. Burns. Skipper again to the left hand side. Fleetwood now enjoying their longest spell of possession since the restart. Burns wide right again, hugging the touchline. The trialist on the overlap. He's got in behind here. County switched off into the box. A clumsy clearance, but it's effective nonetheless. But Burns will try his luck from distance. He's always leading back. The shot always rising, well off target, and it stays. County 0, Fleetwood 2.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's obviously no crowd and stuff, and you can hear the players talking. You can almost hear James Jennings, the experience he brings, and talking to Downing alongside him and stuff. It's, good sign for County. He's a great professional. I'm sure his experience will prove vital this year.
Got a hectic programme to come, Fleetwood, including eye-catching fixtures at home to Blackburn Rovers and away to Huddersfield Town to continue their pre-season preparations, having already beaten Carlisle United, which is a good result, 4-2.
Yeah, I think in terms of Fleetwood, especially midfield, and they've probably not been tested at the back, but they look a strong outfit, and I'm sure they'll be close again in the top end of League One this year. I think the centre midfielder Camps will be a great signing for them. Has a lot of quality, playing alongside the more experienced Coots.
Well, County may have made 11 changes at the break. We're going to see a flurry now from Fleetwood. So apologies if we lose track of this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 changes by the looks of it for Joey Barton's men. One of them's in goal, replacing one trialist with another. The fourth official's just counting how many go on and how many come off, just to make absolutely sure.
Yeah, this is where sometimes pre-season gets slightly joints and things like that in terms of the substitution, but it's about giving everyone minutes and trying to stake the place for that first game of the season. Say most managers going into pre-season will probably have an idea, or probably put on a piece of paper that the starting 11 for the first game. But if people impress in pre-season, that can often change. So these lads coming up for Fleetwood will want to do the same as the new 11 starters for County.
Looking across the back line, Harrison Holgate, I think he's the only one to survive. Jack Sowerby has come on alongside him, as has James Hill. There's Jay Matiti, one of the substitutes. An overlap for Fleetwood down the right-hand side. Well defended, Darren Stevenson. Doesn't always get the credit he deserves for his defensive work.
He looks strong, Darren. He looks like he's been in the gym, and he looks like he looks sharp, which is great to see him back in a County shirt. So he did really well defensively there.
The number 12 who's come on, by the way, James Hill, his dad Matt Hill, still playing these days for Stafford Rangers at the age of 39. He, of course, played for Tranmere against County in the Cheshire Senior Cup final when Jim Gannon first returned, his first season back in his third spell, of course. And Matt Hill played for Tranmere that day, and he's still playing now at the age of 39. So quite remarkable to have a father and son still playing at the same time.
Yeah, I think he might be assistant. I think he's assistant as well there and stuff like that. But great pro. I think he had a good career at Preston and stuff. And he's some of his things have half the career he's had. He'll be in for a great surprise.
Harrison Biggins has come on in the middle of the park as well, signed from Stockspridge Steels 3 years ago. Meanwhile, County looking very composed. They're not panicking because of the scoreline. It is pre-season after all. It's all about getting some minutes into the legs. As Jordan Downing steps out of defence and finds Niall Bell. I thought he was caught there. The referee says no. Bell protests. Referee not interested. Here's Matiti again on the ball. Shaden Morris has made a good run down the right, but the ball has gone the other way, infield towards Harrison Biggins, wearing 8. Back out to the right-hand side again for Holgate. Matiti coming deep to pick up possession, a former Reading trainee. That's a nice ball that he's played out to the far side. Hill now to bring it forward. He's not as big as his dad these days. Holgate, Saunders, Holgate, Saunders again. Spins away the diagonal ball over hit though. And that will be a county goal kick over on the far side. It's Barry Bagley actually rather than Saunders who overhit the pass, a Northern Ireland under-17 international, who's actually the youngest ever league player to feature for Fleetwood. He played when he was still only 18 now. I think Jim Gannon will be, pretty pleased with this second half so far, Shaun.
Yeah, definitely. It's been quite an even game. Obviously, a number of substitutions just recently for Fleetwood, but County look comfortable without probably troubling the goal as much as maybe Jim would like. But you've got always remember they are playing a team with 2 leagues above them. They were also close to that league last year, so always that in the back of the mind. They started well in the second half, and hopefully can trouble the goal a little bit more.
Player Matiti bringing the ball away, finding Biggins. Biggins now bringing it forward for the visitors. County though snuffing out the threat again. Good feet from Keighren. Brings the ball away, keeps it simple, passes it to the nearest blue shirt, which on that occasion was Key. Good clearance though. Walker caught in possession, and a shot from distance, not too far wide. A little snapshot, right-footed efforts by Carl Johnston, the Northern Irish midfielder, former Linfield man. It's just an indication, isn't it, Shaun? If you do switch off or make a little mistake against a team of this calibre, you are going to get punished.
Yeah, I think the Trials goalkeeper sort of shanked his clearance and then Sam or the Apples first touch, but yeah, little mistakes like that, the higher up you go, usually prove costly, and they were lucky to get away with that County.
Jim Gannon, of course, in the absence now of Ian Ormson, is looking for a goalkeeper to complete his squad. I say complete, and there may be yet more additions, who knows, but a goalkeeper is presumably high on his wish list. Only Ben Hinchliffe in the squad at the moment. And Ian Ormson, he'll be much missed at Edgeley Park, such a familiar figure over the years. He's such a talented goalkeeper as well, and we can only wish him well for his future career. I'm sure he'll go on and do really well. He's a terrific talent. Stevenson again tracking back, and he's left 2 in his wake. Great work from Stevenson, full of running as well down this left side, and really working his socks off on this near touchline. And as I say, he doesn't always get the credit for his defensive work, but that was terrific.
Yeah, they probably have to show it a little bit more playing. He's playing left wing back, isn't he? So great pace and strength there. Away from the right winger, and County free kick halfway inside Fleetwood's half.
Well, it is going to be another water break for the players on this very, very warm afternoon. If you've just joined us, I can tell you County have made a complete change to their 11 at half-time. This second half sees a trialist in goal, a back 3, right to left, of Jordan Keane, Jordan Downing and James Jennings. Darren Stevenson's playing as a left wing back, as Shaun Connor rightly says. Adam Thomas as a right wing back, and then it's a midfield with Alex Curran alongside Paul Turnbull, and we've got a trialist pushing on to support striker Niall Bell. So that's the way County have lined up for this second half, trailing by 2-0 at the break. I don't know, is it unfair to read anything into the selections? Does Jim think the first half team is his first choice team, or is he still, at this stage, is it too early to say?
If you look at personnel, and if you probably you picked the start 11, I reckon it'd be pretty close to one Jim may put out in the first half. But when it starts the season, there's a lot of things can change during that period of time. Formation may change. There's new signings to potentially come in. So it's about trying to state your place in pre-season to earn that shirt. In the first game. So For me, probably, I usually thought, you know, when I was playing, if you'd start in the pre-season, you were in the manager's thoughts to start the first game, but, you know, there's a lot of things that can change in between, especially, you know, there's another 7 weeks to go until the first game, so probably a longer pre-season than usual.
Of course, two of the players in midfield there, Paul Turnbull and Sam Walker, are no longer officially with County, but their contracts have been extended whilst they are fixed up with new clubs, which surely won't be long. Two players of their high calibre, National League North winners just over 12 months ago. Free kick to County. Jennings, sweet left foot, very, very good on set pieces. It's a little close to the keeper though this time. Easy take for the trialist between the sticks. He'll bowl it out now to Fleetwood's back line. Forward they come. Down the right flank, Stevenson leaping high to head it clear. Helped out by Walker. Fleetwood have it back. Mateti plays it to Hill. Hill now trying to thread it through midfield, but Walker read the danger very nicely. Easy interception, finds Jordan Downing. Downing back to the goalkeeper. Ooh, and he was a little lackadaisical in his clearance, and Saunders, we mentioned his pace earlier, very quick to close down, and that could have been embarrassing for the goalkeeper. The ricochet could have gone anywhere. He's a little fortunate to get away with that. Free kick to County. Foul on the trialist there on the far side. By the way, I was just saying hello at half-time to Damien Allen, new head of the academy here at Stockport County. He'll be in charge of County's youth development. Great to see a former player looking after that. Michael Rains assisting him as well. So great to have that expertise working with County's youngsters. Ball loose halfway line. Turnbull does well to play it out to the right. County, though, unable to make any inroads. Have to start again with Downing. His header, though, easily picked off by Biggins. Biggins goes to ground too easily, says the referee, but Fleetwood still have it. It's a much younger, agile Fleetwood side in this second half now. They've made these changes. A lot of their youngsters coming off the bench. Quite a few teenagers in that mass substitution. There's a Fleetwood ball again on this near touchline.
Games just lost a little bit, you know, as pre-season games maybe do when you make a change. It's lost a little bit of momentum. County just need to get the ball back into Niall Bell's feet a little bit better again, and hopefully can build off there.
Left side is Hill. Plays it back into midfield now for Harrison Biggins, the central midfielder, born in Sheffield. Came through the ranks with Barnsley. That's a foul by Keighren on Mateti. Free kick taken quickly. Biggins again, prods it forward. Bagley, central midfield position, but Paul Turnbull tracking back. It's a very, very even second half.
I think another thing is it's so hot out there today, you know, dehydration and stuff like that will take its toll, so you know, that's probably another reason why County on a day like this, you know, they had an entire second half 11 come out so hot, you know, out there today, and it's hard to play in conditions like this, especially when you probably...
Jim does have two more options actually off the bench. He's got two of the youngsters, Jack Hopkins and Adam Owens, who he could potentially use. He's just having a chat with one of them now, so maybe there will be an opportunity for one of the young lads to come on. He's gone for some shin pads, so it's looking promising, isn't it? Shaun says very, very hot down at pitch side, 23, 24 degrees. Fleetwood now with an opportunity to get the ball into County's box from a dead ball. Taking it short to Mateti, who squares it now into midfield for Biggins. They've found themselves back on the halfway line as a result. Shot from distance. Well, it wasn't a bad attempt. It was closer than I thought it was going to be when it left the boot of James Hill. Speculative effort with his left foot, but bent away from the County goal. It stays 2-0 to the Cod Army. Bell with the flick on. Nobody running beyond him that time, Shaun.
Yeah, I think that's when he's got to be a bit clever, you know, he's got to know what's around him, maybe try and bring that into him. It wasn't too hard, maybe couldn't bring it down or back in and get it into his chest, so just that maybe lack of experience there from Niall Bell, just knowing what's around him.
Shaun Morris looking to get in behind there, but Darren Stevenson defending it well, but from the throw-in. Here's Bagley again, the Northern Ireland youngster, down the Fleetwood right. Now when the ball's recycled from the opposite side, offside flag raised against Carl Johnston, another Northern Irish youngster. They seem to have a good supply line from Ulster. Fleetwood Town, several young Northern Irish players in their ranks. One or two senior figures as well. Fleetwood on the ball, halfway line. Played out by Bagley to the left side. Hill back in field. Fleetwood's youngsters looking very, very composed, very comfortable in possession. They all know their jobs. Joey Barton, a big believer in developing young players. As I say, he's given one of them a debut that made him the youngest player ever to feature for Fleetwood Town, which in itself says a lot about the faith that he has in players like Barry Bagley. Here they are again. Well, it's a chance here from the edge of the box. Good save by the young goalkeeper. Shot on target from Shaun Morris, who scored in the previous friendly against Carlisle United. Almost doubling his pre-season tally there, but good save. Stevenson bringing it away for County. A little trip then by Stevenson. Tried to get away with it. The referee alert to that.
Yeah, great football for Fleetwood there. You can see the extra bit of quality. You know, little step over from the little number 16. So good football for Fleetwood, and then Stevenson broke well down his left-hand side, but he didn't have many options. I think that typifies County in the second half going forward. Just not a lot on for Stevenson when he got further up the pitch.
Well, football without fans is not the most enjoyable, it has to be said, but given the absence of supporters, we hope that this live stream at least is making up for not being able to come and watch the Hatters. Turnbull does well. Referee played a good advantage to allow Turnbull to find Stevenson. Darren Stevenson closing in, threads it through to Curran. Alex Curran forced wide by the defender, tries to recycle it from the left side, couldn't find Stevenson again. I just wonder, Shaun, whether Stevenson could have been a little more selfish there.
Yeah, you know, that was a sort of, you know, Paul Turnbull going back to his days when he was 15, great hold-up play, and then he got the ball into his chest and then played off with Stevenson. For me, should have probably, maybe it was because he's on his bad foot, his left foot, and I didn't want to have an effort, but yeah, probably should have had a shot from there. But unlucky from Curran, and you know, that's where Bell's got to try and get in amongst the goals in that 6-yard box.
Oh, what a turn from Darren Stevenson. Got a bit between his teeth this afternoon. It's been such a long road back for the county-wide man. Fleetwood back on the ball though now, halfway line. Tatey finds Harrison Biggins, now on the right-hand side. Holgate to bring it forward. Holgate, no stranger to non-league football. Switching the play to the opposite side. Hill. There's another one who's come through the ranks.
He's looked a good player. Obviously, he didn't really give the ball away. Good defensive. Looks like he's got a decent yard of pace, so I'm sure he'll play a lot more for the first team this year. Yeah, look really comfortable today.
Fleetwood enjoying a good spell at the moment. Ball wide left now. Opportunity maybe for Johnston to cross. So again, you've got to say, it's good defending from Adam Thomas on that far side. I have tried to ask him before whether he prefers right back, right wing, right wing back, centre forward. He always replies very diplomatically. He just wants to be in the starting 11, but his versatility makes him invaluable, really, Shaun, doesn't it?
Yeah, especially, you know, as you get along into the season and you pick up injuries, you know, probably have victories of maybe 24, 25 man squads, or some of the Premiership teams have. So someone like him playing in a number of different positions on down that right hand side, and even sometimes down the left, will prove valuable for County this term.
Stevenson to Walker, Sam Walker clips it forward, Bell chasing. How many times did we see that last season and the season before? Didn't come to anything that time though. Fleetwood Town back on the ball, leading by 2-0. The lead they built up in the first half. Could have been 3, rattling the woodwork right on the stroke of half time. Here's Hill again, left side. Down the line, finding Johnston. Sharp from Walker, very quick then on Biggins to dispossess the youngster. County can break. Adam Thomas wide right, everything to his left now. He can. It's just too high for Niall Bell, who gambled at the near post, and there was nobody waiting at the far. Well, that's unlucky. Adam Thomas, he was playing it blind. Defender in close attendance, just had to hope that the far post was the destination. Jennings, good header away. Pounced upon in midfield though by the lively Bagley. Bagley again. Gets it back from Matiti. The right wing is Shaden Morris. Patient, measured build-up from the Cod Army youngsters. It's Hill again. Plays it back into the middle. It's a good block by Turnbull, a good clearance by Jordan Downing to deny the opportunity for a Fleetwood goal.
Also comfortable on the ball, these Fleetwood youngsters. You know, so relaxed when you get the ball in tight areas and able to pop it off 1 or 2 touch, which is, you know, I'm sure what Joey Barton works on the training ground day in, day out. So I'd be delighted to see that sort of come into fruition during the sort of, in particular, last 10 or 15 minutes or so.
So County are going to make a change shortly. Let's see what the change is. So Alex Curran is the man to make way, recently coming back from injury.
Yeah, no matter how much running you're doing, stuff, you know, games are just completely different. Some of these people, you know, probably not played 30 minutes of football for the best part of 7-8 months, so it's probably a wise substitution for Jim just to make sure there's no injuries or anything.
Straight swap in the middle then. Curran, midfield player, making way. And Jack Hopkins coming on to replace him. Midfielder making his 3rd appearance for County. Made his debut, of course, as a substitute in the FA Trophy win over Blythe Spartans in December last season. So Jack Hopkins, the 18-year-old, is on. Excited to be playing in this company. So a couple of first-team appearances to his credit already, and he's obviously one that the manager and his staff think highly of, and one that Alan Lord can take a lot of credit for as well. Alan Lord, who's here today.
Yeah, he can probably take credit for a number off the line over the years. Alan Lord, he's been a great servant for County, developing young players through the years, and yeah, obviously great to see him here today.
Fleetwood free kick, foul by Bell. Back to the goalkeeper. Plays it out to Holgate on this near side, one of the survivors from the mass substitution midway through this second half. Holgate has stayed out there. The right-sided centre half. Can play as a right back as well, but playing a back 3 at the moment. Pinged forward by Town's youngsters again. And here is Holgate. Knows exactly when to step forward, step out of defence. We obviously think highly of him. He's got the captain's armband as well for this the remainder of this one.
Yeah, he's been terrific today. He's been the best player on the pitch by a mile for me. He's, I don't think he's given the ball away once, and so comfortable on the ball, stepping out from in a back three. So he's been terrific, and hopefully, for Fleetwood's sake, will carry on the performances into the season.
Only 20 with one senior appearance under his belt. If you're wondering, no Jordan Williams today. He has signed for the club, but too late really to be involved this afternoon. So I'm sure he'll play a part next weekend when County entertain Rochdale, when we will be back at Edgeley Park. Walker, Hopkins, Jennings, Downey, Turnbull, County's title-winning captain from 2019. Still only 31, I mean, arguably still in his absolute prime. Jennings, over the top now for Bell. It's too high even for Niall Bell. He's trying to make something of it. The goalkeeper, in the end, a little panicked, sprints off his line, but Bell unable to manufacture an opening. County 0, Fleetwood 2. We're at Carrington this afternoon, the home of County's new training complex. As it will be for the next 3 years.
I think one thing Jim will like to see if he plays this back three is the two outside centre halves stepping into the game a little bit more. Maybe the middle centre half, whether it be Alex Palmer, maybe Liam Hogan, really controlling possession. It's difficult against a really good opposition in Fleetwood today. But if you play it back three, that's where you should get more joy playing out from the back.
Good touch by Morris. Plays it back towards the halfway line now, though. Nice control by Matiti. County have it back. Down the inside left for Stevenson to chase, and again Holgate. Very controlled, comes across, puts the ball into touch.
Yeah, he's got a good turn of pace in that one as well. Holgate, coming against Stevenson there, and Maxim strive to try and put defending, but Damon Stevenson has probably been County's best player in the second half for me. He's looked sharp. He's fit, he's been out for such a long period, so as I said a couple of times, Shaun, it's great to see him back.
Great feet then from Hopkins. He's drawn the foul from Matiti, and it's a chance now for County to get the ball in the box, and it's Paul Turnbull, sweet right foot, to bend this in. This could be a chance for the Hatters. From the set piece, won by Hopkins. Drilled in by Turnbull, but headed clear again by that man, Holgate. Dominant at the back in his own 6-yard box. Controlled that, headed it clear. Fleetwood throw. Here's Hill. Matiti takes over, gave away that free kick. He'll be annoyed about that. Great feet though from Hopkins to leave him in his wake initially.
Yeah, it's a good ball in from Turnbull, so he needs to just get across that near post, and one little touch with a lot of pace in the ball, one little touch that goes past the keeper, it's on target. But good defending again from Holgate, great header.
Johnston back to Hill. Hill to Holgate. Sowerby now. Sowerby looking at the options. He's one of the older players, Sowerby, 25 in the team at the moment. Signed on a free from Squires Gate 6 years ago. Over 90 first team appearances now. You can hear a gentle hum in the background, by the way. Fleetwood, I think it is, who's brought a drone. It's not a swarm of mosquitoes. Downing. Jennings. Hopkins the first to show. Intelligent play from the youngster. He gets the ball now and wins the throw-in on this near side. Good work by Hopkins. Jennings with the throw. James Jennings knows what it needs to get out of this level. That's a terrible back pass though from Jennings. Left the keeper very short. Almost embarrassed by Saunders sliding in.
I think it was Downing, John.
Yeah.
I think his weight of passing in the second half. He's not. I don't know if it's he's not putting enough weight on his passing nearly again. Now it's good keeping actually from the Riders goalkeeper, because it would be quite embarrassing moment for Jordan Downing. So he's got him out trouble.
No offside flag, remarkably, against Morris. He's allowed to go on, but Hopkins with an excellent challenge sends the ball out for a throw-in, down by the corner flag.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes that sort of stuff where you wait to pass it on, it's probably down to nerves for the young lad. He's playing, he knows a lot of competition for centre-half berth this year. Maybe a little bit nervous, but he's got to try and shake it off as quickly as he can, especially if County want to play out from the back, because if he's going to play in the middle of 3 centre-halves, he's got to be able to make sure he puts the right way to pass on stuff, otherwise it can prove very costly.
You mentioned that Cheshire Senior Cup tie, the record under Jim Gannon since he arrived in terms of league position is tremendous, really. Look at his achievements in the National League North: 14th, then 11th, then 9th, 8th, missing out on the playoffs by 1 goal, then 5th, losing in the playoffs, and then of course after that quarter-final with Chorley, but then of course County finishing top of the tree. And I've got to say, it's been a great reversal of fortunes at Stockport County. They have improved year on year in the National League North. Jim Gannon hugely pivotal to that. And the county league position then improving again to 8th last season, albeit they were 7th when the virus struck.
Is this his fifth season or 6th season?
Yeah, he came back he came back in 2016, January of 2016, for his 3rd spell in charge. And that was, of course, after taking Northwich to the top of their league and the 2nd round of the FA Cup. So, yeah, you're right, Jim's finishes have been 9th, 8th, 5th and 1st. So, yeah, absolutely incredible record.
Yeah,
years.
County, they're not one for maybe as full-time whistle, not one for letting managers go. It's great to see him rewarded for that success and giving himself a chance to build on his own success to try and get County out of the conference and back into the Football League.
Well, there goes the whistle. It's been a goalless second half, and I think Jim Gannon will be pretty pleased about that, because at half-time it was looking decidedly dodgy with County 2 goals down. They'd conceded after just 16 minutes. Josh Morris finished off a crisp passing move, and then 7 minutes before half-time, when Mark Kitchen conceded a penalty with a clumsy challenge on Wes Burns, and Paddy Madden stepped up to convert, you feared the worst. They hit the bar just before half-time. Callum Camps really should have done better. Into the second half, Jim Gannon making wholesale changes, 11 in all, and he still had time for another substitute after that, but it was arguably County who created the better chances after the restart. Niall Bell, probably the best of the lot, a shot with his left foot from the edge of the box, which was saved by the Fleetwood goalkeeper. But at the end of the day, it's County's first pre-season test. He's deep in conversation now with Joey Barton, his opposite number. I think he'll be relatively pleased with that as a first workout today, Shaun.
Yeah, don't read too much into the results. 2-0, would tell Fleetwood had a bit more quality, but they will have to play 2 leagues higher than County, so just maybe quality of play is a little bit stronger. But fitness-wise, the lads will have got a lot out of it. Whole 22 players used, 23. Yeah, so everyone got a good run out and workout, and I'm sure they'll build on that momentum as we get close to the start of the season. As I say, Fleetwood have got 2 or 3 weeks ahead of County as well, which probably made them look sharper going forward. But great workout for County. I'm sure Jim will be delighted just to be back out there. Plenty
of new faces on show, of course, today, Shaun, and I'm thinking particularly of the likes of Kitching and James Jennings and John Rooney, Alex Reid. We haven't seen a great deal of Richie Bennett either. Jamie Stock back in the ranks as well today. It's been a good workout for them. Anyone catch the eye?
Yeah, I think they all did well. I think it's always difficult when you play 45 minutes. I think Keighren found his penalty, where he pulled from down. He had a very solid first half and looked good going forward. But all the new lads did well for me. No one probably stood out in, maybe Keighren the most, but it was a tough game. You've got to remember Fleetwood are the top end of League One, so they'll just be delighted to be back out there. The lads, it's been a 4 or 5 month break for them, so I'm sure just getting a bit of football, competitive football, will just do the world a good.
Shaun Connor, thank you, our co-commentator this afternoon, courtesy of mydigitalaccounts.com. Full time here then in County's opening pre-season friendly. It's finished. Stockport County 0, Fleetwood Town 2. Well, Jim, the first pre-season game out of the way. How do you feel it went?
You can see the gulf in the sense of where they're at, because they've been involved in the playoffs and they've been back training. It's their second competitive game, so can't be too hard. There's little bits that I'd like to see better. I suppose it's just we've got a benchmark now where we've got another 8 games to play in pre-season, so it's not just about sharpening people up, it's also about connecting people as a team and getting the details right. So a lot of work to be done, but I'm just pleased for all the lads. They've got a good run out, got a good taste of maybe where the chairman wants the club to be in 5 or 6 years.
Looking at the way you approach the game, obviously different teams in each half, is there anything to read into that in terms of who you're considering for your starting 11 at the start of the season?
Of course, I'm sure all the players are. They'd be thinking natural pecking orders sort of get established, but no, we expected them to be playing their strongest team. They did in the first half against Carlisle. We knew they were going to be playing them for 60 minutes and then introducing the other lads for 30 minutes. So we could have mixed the teams up a little bit, but you're also trying to get key relationships developed. Because of their shape, we wanted to play with a back 3. So it was natural to bring Jamie in, and then obviously that meant a few players playing out of position was probably a little bit unfair on them. Keno at right centre back, Adam Thomas at wing back, but these are the things that we're going to have to ask them to do during the season. Play different positions, different formations. So yeah, of course people will read into it where people are at, but as a few did well second half, and I think as the games sort of go by, we'll try different relationships and formations. But at the moment, the second half team, there's not a lot of them are actually contracted for next year. We're obviously trying to keep some lads fit and give them an opportunity to find another club, and we're trying to look at other players who might come into our squad. But there's 4 or 5 obviously in that group, 4, 5, 6 that are looking to be part of the first team, and these are the opportunities in training all week, next week in lead up to Rochdale again. If they can show me that they can offer a little bit more than somebody in a position, or if they decide to change shape, can they step in? And obviously got Jordan Williams to add into that equation as well. So
I was going to say, I mean, you had a couple of trialists today. Are there still slots in your squad? I mean, the most obvious one obviously is the goalkeeping position, isn't it?
Yeah, there's definitely slots in it. Your ideal squad, the first team squad, would be around 20. We'd like to have like 18 that are really strong players. The difficult thing is trying to get players that and sell them a vision that they are going to be first team. How do you do that for 16 or 18 players? But we want to collect together a group of players that can be really strong, and if we have 1 or 2 injuries, we're not weak. Because if we look back at last seasons, we look at the inconsistencies in our results and the inconsistencies at different stages in the season, it was due to the fact that we had a very threadbare squad. So when you lose Ash Palmer, you lose Ben Hinchcliffe or Sam Walker in a game, the results will show something different, and we're trying to get a group of players together that's strong enough to overcome them, but also the width and the depth and the balance and the quality throughout the group. So we're getting there, and I'd say after the recruitment meeting we had on yesterday, I'd say we're about 3/4 of the way there. Probably got 15 of the 20 we want, and now it's just a question of how strong those 5 are, whether they're going to be people that are going to be challenging the first team players and really creating a storm within the first team for positions, or whether they're kind of young players that maybe over time can add something to the group and develop. So we have to be thinking about not just staying strong now and being proven, but also the potential growth of the side over the 6, 12, 18 months.
It was lovely as well in the second half, I thought, James said, to see two players in particular who are coming back from quite serious injuries, and Darren Stevenson, the forgotten man really, because he just hasn't had the chance to play. He's been injured for so long, and Alex Cullen suffered a dreadful injury at the start of the year, and he's back as well. I mean, it's great to see them play.
Yeah, I think Darren looked in great shape, and he's a superb athlete. Alex is a good lad, been working hard, and I think probably the difference between the two lads is probably that Darren's had the experience of those nasty little injuries and the kind of the mental side and the physical, the repetitive exercise you have to do over and over again to get yourself there, and so I think Darren looks a little bit further down the line as a player and in terms of his return, and like I said, we were conscious today of not overusing Alex, especially in terms of, we don't want people being tired and getting secondary injuries, so we just got to make sure that he'll be getting a little bit anxious about he's not back to where he was, but it'll take time, and he's got to remember he's coming into an environment where he's training more, he's training against better players, so I just said to him, just relax and go at your pace and keep stretching yourself, and you'll get there, you'll be back to the player you were. So but I was pleased for Darren because he looks back to capable of being match fitness, and I'm sure that he's creating a situation where he can probably earn himself a contract, and if not with us, with other people that get to see him playing, because that pace and that directness and that ability to get you up the pitch is definitely still there.
It's nice to hear. And in terms of football at the moment, obviously we'd love to be at Edgley Park. We will be next Saturday, but actually today was a chance really to have a little showcase of Carrington, and it's coming up to the mark, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I think anybody that's been either casual visitor or coming here to train are commenting. It's nice when people that have worked at different levels, League 2, League 1, and come here and say that they wish they had our gym and they wish they had this and they wish they had that. So the club's certainly delivered on not just a training ground, but one of the best for league standard. And as I said in my piece about you want our players now to rise to the standard that's been set all around them in terms of the quality training facilities and how we're going to go about our business. So it's really pretty, and it's great as well, because when you've got like sort of maybe 22 players for each team, 24, it's nice to have that bit of extra space for people to be able to do a warm up and stay warm. So it's work for today, but we'll probably do something similar on Saturday, but Rochdale are probably again another week closer to where they want to be as their first team, so we might find them playing 60-70 minutes players and then squeezing towards where they want to be. So it's very hard to judge us really against teams that perhaps have been involved in the playoffs, that are a short break, well equipped, well connected team, and they're a little bit further down the line, not just over the years and over the couple of seasons that Joey's had them, but also in terms of pre-season. So it's just because we start 4 weeks after everybody, we've got that little strange fact that we've got the hardest teams first, and then we kind of we can only really play national north teams, so the bulk of September is going to be against teams that are going to be less than us. So but we have to kind of use these experiences maybe of not just of where we want to be as a club, because we're not playing up against teams as good as them, but some of our players who still have aspirations to maybe go on the journey with us, what levels you need to be getting at if you want to be a League One player.
James, it's lovely to see you again. Thanks for your
Pleasure,
time.
thank you very much.
Well, James, what a good workout in very hot conditions here at Carrington this afternoon. How was it?
It was good, yeah. Good to get the first run out, get some minutes, which is always good. Get familiar with the pace of things, and Fleetwood are a good team as well. They move the ball very quick. Some tricky players in there, sharp. So yeah, it was just a case of getting rid of that rustiness, and we've been back training a couple of weeks now, so it's nice to just finally play a game after being out for so long. You
came on and played at left side of a 3. I don't know if that's somewhere you like playing particularly, but is that maybe an indication of where the manager's thinking for the new season?
He's aware that I can play there, so I can play there, I can play wing back or left back, so I can play in all 3 positions, so it was more of a case of how the team set up second half, and also we had a look at how they played, the formation they played, and it's probably a little bit more well suited for us to play the 3, and me being left footed, it was easier for me to step in and try and get Daz a little bit further forward, but if you don't have control of possession for a lot of the time within the game, it's always a little bit harder, you end up defending, but I thought we'd done okay. You know, we could have moved the ball a lot quicker at times, but you know, today was a case of just getting them first minutes in the bank.
I mean, you've probably been in your career through 14 or 15 pre-seasons. This is a slightly different one, isn't it? Because we're playing Fleetwood, who are further down the line, finish the season later, and are starting it a month earlier. So it is a bit strange.
It is, yeah. You normally start playing a few teams lower down, don't you?
Yeah,
And you get your minutes in then, and you gradually build up to around 90 minutes. When you play the League One clubs, you're feeling a lot sharper. You don't feel as slow when you're coming up against them League One players. But you know, we want to push, we want to test ourselves anyway. So it doesn't matter what the opposition is. You know, you'd sooner it be more of a test and come off and come away from it and be too easy. And we've got high expectations for next season. So that's how we hope to start pre-season.
I know there'll be no fans there next week, but I know personally you cannot wait to play at Edgeley Park, can you? You're just itching to get there next weekend.
I am, yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, it'd be better if the fans were there, but you know, under the circumstances, we know that we'll have to wait a while for that. But it'd be good for everyone, you know, not just myself. It's about gelling together well as a team and making sure that we're getting used to them surroundings and playing it on the ground and trying new formations out and getting used to playing with each other. And we're working hard throughout the week to make sure that we do that.
And more new signings all the time. Jordan Williams coming in yesterday. I mean, the squad is the strength now is starting to build.
It is, yeah. Good player. Played against him a couple of times. Always a difficult player to play against. So the squad's coming together nicely, yeah. And you know, we're enjoying training at the minute. We've got great facility here that we get to work with, and hopefully we can get a few more minutes in the tank next week and get stronger.
You mentioned the facility. How does this compare?
It's certainly, well, I played here when I was younger at City, when City were there, so I mean, for us to get the facilities like this for a National League club is like unbelievable. So yeah, it's a superb facility and something you'd be surprised to get in League One.
James, it's always good to talk to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, no
Top
problem.
man. All the very best. Cheers.
No problem.